Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a story that has taken many observers by surprise and sent ripples across Europe. Denmark and Sweden, two countries long seen as predictable, cautious, and closely aligned with mainstream European positions, have suddenly adopted a stance that few expected. This shift has not only raised eyebrows, but has also sparked intense debate about where Europe is heading next. For decades, Denmark and Sweden have been viewed as pillars of stability in Northern Europe. They are known for their strong democratic institutions, commitment to international law, and preference for consensus-based politics. Because of this reputation, any deviation from their usual approach tends to attract immediate attention. What makes this moment so striking is not just the decision itself, but the timing. Europe is already under pressure from multiple crises at once. Economic uncertainty, security concerns, energy challenges, and political polarization have created an atmosphere where even small moves can have major consequences. Against this backdrop, Denmark and Sweden's surprise stance feels like a sudden crack in what many assumed was a solid front. Analysts across the continent are asking the same question. Why now and why them? To understand the shock, we need to look at expectations. Denmark and Sweden have often played the role of bridge builders in European debates. They usually support collective solutions and avoid dramatic unilateral moves. Their diplomacy has traditionally been quiet, careful, and incremental. This is why Europe was stunned when both countries signaled a position that appeared firmer, more assertive, and in some ways more independent than before. For allies and partners, this felt like a departure from the familiar script. At first, reactions ranged from confusion to concern. Some European leaders privately wondered whether this was a temporary adjustment or the start of a deeper strategic shift. Others feared it could weaken European unity at a time when cohesion is already fragile. Public opinion added another layer to the story. In both Denmark and Sweden, citizens have become more vocal about national interests, security, and economic resilience. Political leaders are increasingly under pressure to respond to domestic concerns rather than rely solely on traditional European compromises. This internal pressure matters. In recent years, voters in Northern Europe have shown less patience for abstract promises and more demand for tangible results. Issues like migration, defense spending, and energy security are no longer distant policy debates. They are personal, immediate, and emotional. Denmark's position reflects this shift clearly. The country has been reassessing its role within broader European frameworks. While still committed to cooperation, Danish leaders have emphasized the need to protect national priorities more explicitly than before. Sweden's move is perhaps even more surprising. Sweden has long been associated with neutrality, humanitarian values, and moral leadership in international affairs. Its decision to adopt a tougher or more unconventional stance challenges deeply rooted perceptions. For Sweden, the change appears driven by a reassessment of risk. Security concerns in the region have intensified, and Swedish policymakers now speak more openly about threats that were once discussed in cautious, almost academic terms. This sense of urgency has pushed both countries closer to decisions that once seemed unlikely. What was previously considered politically risky has become politically necessary. Across Europe, reactions have been mixed. Some countries quietly welcome the shift, seeing it as a sign that Northern Europe is finally acknowledging realities that others have faced for years. They argue that Denmark and Sweden are simply catching up. Others are less enthusiastic. Critics warn that this stance could set a precedent for fragmentation. If every country starts prioritizing national concerns over collective ones, the European project could weaken from within. Media coverage has amplified the drama. Headlines describe Europe as stunned or shaken, while commentators speculate about hidden motives and long-term consequences. In many ways, perception has become as important as policy itself. What complicates the situation further is that Denmark and Sweden have not completely abandoned European cooperation. Instead, they are redefining how they participate. This nuance is often lost in the initial shock. Their message seems to be that solidarity must adapt to new realities. They argue that unity does not mean uniformity, and that strong national positions can coexist with European collaboration. This argument resonates with some policymakers, especially in countries that feel overburdened or overlooked. It suggests a Europe where flexibility replaces rigid consensus. However, flexibility can be a double-edged sword. Without clear boundaries, it risks turning into disunity. This is the fear voiced by those who see the move as destabilizing. Economically, the implications are also significant. Denmark and Sweden are influential voices in debates on budgets, trade, and regulation. A shift in their stance could alter negotiations and slow down decision-making at the European level. Markets are watching closely. Investors tend to favor predictability, and sudden political shifts can create uncertainty. Even if the economic fundamentals remain strong, perception alone can have real effects. Security analysts are paying equal attention. Northern Europe plays a crucial role in regional stability. Any change in posture by Denmark and Sweden sends signals beyond Europe, reaching allies and rivals alike. For neighboring countries, this creates both reassurance and anxiety. On one hand, a firmer stance could enhance deterrence. On the other, it could escalate tensions if not carefully managed. The diplomatic challenge now lies in communication. Denmark and Sweden must explain their decisions clearly to avoid misunderstandings. Silence or ambiguity would only fuel speculation and mistrust. So far, both governments have emphasized responsibility and realism. They insist that their actions are not about breaking away, but about strengthening Europe through honesty and preparedness. Whether this explanation will satisfy critics remains uncertain. European politics is often driven by emotion as much as logic, and trust once shaken is hard to fully restore. At the same time, this moment reflects a broader trend. Across Europe, countries are rethinking assumptions that guided policy for decades. What worked in the past may no longer be sufficient. In that sense, Denmark and Sweden's surprise stance may be less of an anomaly and more of a signal. A signal that Europe is entering a new phase, one defined by harder choices and fewer illusions. History shows that periods of stability are often followed by abrupt change. When that change arrives, it rarely does so politely. It disrupts habits, alliances, and expectations. For citizens watching from the outside, the story can feel confusing, but at its core, it is about adaptation. Governments responding to a world that feels less predictable and more demanding. The real question is what comes next. Will other countries follow Denmark and Sweden's example, or will this move remain a unique case shaped by specific national circumstances? European institutions will have to respond carefully. Too much pressure could backfire, while too little engagement could allow divisions to deepen. Dialogue will be essential, not the kind filled with slogans, but honest conversations about limits, responsibilities, and shared goals. In the coming months, we are likely to see intense negotiations behind closed doors. Compromises may emerge, but they will probably look different from those of the past. For Denmark and Sweden, the challenge will be consistency. A bold stance attracts attention, but sustaining it requires clarity and political will. For Europe as a whole, this episode is a reminder that unity is not automatic. It must be continuously negotiated and renewed. Whether this surprise stance ultimately strengthens or weakens Europe will depend on how leaders respond. Crisis can be an opportunity, but only if handled with care. One thing is clear. The old assumptions no longer hold. The idea that certain countries will always act in predictable ways has been challenged. That alone makes this moment historic, not because of one decision, but because of what it represents. A Europe in transition, a Europe questioning itself, and a Europe being forced to confront uncomfortable truths. As this story continues to unfold, it will shape debates far beyond Denmark and Sweden. It will influence how Europeans think about security, solidarity, and sovereignty, and it will remind us that even in regions known for stability, surprises are always possible. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned as we continue to break down the stories shaping Europe and the world.